Good day to you, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Fascinating YouTube channel. Fascinating is a podcast that, as of the date of this production, is about to enter its fourth season. Many of the essay themes in the podcast series can undoubtedly be more effectively explained and illustrated with the help of some visuals. Probably none more so than the episode on learning from fractal geometry, which will be the subject of the next essay on this channel. I am your host, Rick from Planet Vulcan. My ongoing mission on planet Earth to search for signs of intelligence and to encourage its spread. Why have I chosen to accept this mission, you might be wondering. In the first place, planet Earth is generally considered by Vulcans to be a plum assignment due to the fact that your planet is where the best chocolate is produced. I'm certainly not a chocolate addict. I could stop using it whenever I want, but I do enjoy it very much, as many Vulcans do, and don't yet want to stop. Vulcans also wish to see Earthlings advance their planetary civilization. If I can assist in this project, that will make me a happy Vulcan by Vulcan standards of happiness. We believe that we can offer help to Earthlings in your idealistic quest to make your planet a better place to live, while at the same time encouraging you to feel free to honor those who have gone before you in this quest by living well yourselves. It's important to set a good example. And we believe that the best way we can help is to provide you with the means and the understanding to create a worldview that is consistent with nature as revealed by scientific investigation. With this grounding, you will then be able to launch your own thinking from firm foundational principles and with at least some chance of attaining deep understanding. The primary focus of our attention is younger Earthlings for the simple reason that as Earthlings age, they tend to become set in their ways. More and more of them no longer concerned with worldviewing in any novel ways. What exactly is a worldview that is consistent with the scientific view of nature? We believe that the most important element in such a worldview is an understanding of the processes of evolution and all that is implied in the understanding of these processes. Many Earthlings are still fighting evolutionary thinking, and I wish to persuade you that this is a fight that cannot be won. You will be a much happier Earthling if you learn to work with evolution instead of trying to fight it. Evolution is a new idea on your planet, and the ways of thinking that stem from this new idea, while making fairly good headway at your institutions of learning in the study of the natural sciences, have barely made a dent in the study of the social sciences and the humanities. We have observed that many, if not most of you, still seem to believe that human beings are separate and apart from nature, beings that were supposedly either created different from animals or who have evolved to the point where they are animals no longer. You like to think of yourselves as not being bound by nature's laws or by natural constraints. Nature can be so nasty, so let's agree to be nice. The very term Darwinian, as a description of natural processes, has in some circles even become a term of opprobrium, something that humans have the standing to disapprove of and the power to opt out of. If you subscribe to a theistic point of view, you believe that you are dualistic beings comprised of your body and your spirit, and that your spirit will survive the death of your body. But this is a vain hope, because dualism is a nonsensical idea inspired by fear and supported only by faith, but not by evidence. No one who has ever approached this question scientifically has ever observed even a single instance of disembodied consciousness. Consciousness is an evolved attribute of animals with sufficiently complex brains. Many of you who do not subscribe to a theistic point of view nevertheless believe that the admittedly remarkable power of your complex brains is such that you can imagine things that nature never imagined, that you can identify and correct the mistakes nature has made during the evolution of humans, and that whatever fantastic thing you can conceive of really could be birthed. You probably subscribe to the notion that belief morphs into possibility. So the path to a desired outcome is just to get enough believers to sign on. Problem solved. But the idea that just any belief can morph into possibility is simply absurd. Senior contributing editor Prego Denata recently attended a book tour presentation by the author of a biography about Alfred Russel Wallace, the scientist who simultaneously with Charles Darwin articulated the theory of evolution by natural selection. The author of the biography is himself a biologist who teaches at a local university. Towards the end of the lecture, he made the point that one facet of Wallace's extraordinary life was that he was a supporter of the then recently advanced proposals for a socialist transformation of society to be guided by wise and benevolent rulers. During the Q&A, Prego asked the professor how anyone with a deep understanding of evolution could ever believe in socialism. The professor was momentarily puzzled and asked Prego what he meant by the question. Prego responded by pointing out that government ownership of the means of production, coupled with economic planning, is intelligent design thinking through and through. The author's answer was twofold and typical of those who do not believe in evolutionary thinking beyond its applications in what they see as the natural world. That although intelligent design thinking is admittedly a mistake when studying the rest of nature, human beings are different. And obviously arbitrary dichotomization which does not survive the universal acid of evolutionary thinking. And, two, that the cooperation which socialists advocate is nicer than competition, which is too Darwinian. Again, like most of those who have decided long ago that competition is icky, he does not understand that more often than not in the real world, competition is a form of cooperation. Most of you who study the social sciences and the humanities, as well as some of you who study the natural sciences, like the biology professor Prego queried, have been clinging with great tenacity to a system of thinking about socioeconomics based on intelligent design. I hope to help you realize that this is a form of evolution denial. You say, hold on. Even those of us outside the study of the natural sciences have mostly rejected the notion of an intelligent designer where a supernatural deity is credited with creating all that exists and with maintaining everything on a continuous basis. A few of us believe that a deity might have created all the stuff and the physical laws and then set it in motion, but we have rejected the notion of divine intervention. So we're basically a very scientific bunch in this respect. We applaud this development, but the problem we still see, and the problem that it is crucial for Earthlings to see, is that most of you who have rejected the idea of a supernatural intelligent designer have only made the first baby steps away from this belief. You still believe that it is intelligent design that explains everything outside of what you conceive of as the natural world, and you now think of yourselves, and not some supernatural being, as the intelligent designers with similar godlike powers of seeing all and knowing all, or at least seeing and knowing enough that your efforts at designing and implementing, or at least tightly regulating, a socioeconomic system can succeed. We want Earthlings to understand and to take the next step, which is to realize that intelligent design thinking in the world of human society is inconsistent with a worldview based on science and nature, and that any attempt to implement intelligent designs can only lead to dead ends. We urge Earthlings to reject the arbitrary dichotomization, understand that you are not different, and adopt evolutionary thinking, where the focus is on process and not on structure, and where you can understand that the things we are accustomed to referring to as structure are byproducts of processes, and barely more permanent than the structure of sea foam. Intelligent design thinking at its heart is the belief that someone has to be doing the designing, or order would be impossible. All would be chaos. When you look around you and observe the order that does in truth exist in society, you conclude that you have found evidence for the existence of an intelligent designer. Our essential message to Earthlings is that the order you observe everywhere around you does not necessarily, or even very often, lead to the conclusion that there is a controlling designer behind the existence of order. The ice patterns you see on your window pane when it freezes do not prove the existence of Jack Frost. Your Toyota has been intelligently designed, but the patterns of traffic flow that it moves with has not. The order we observe in the flow of automobile traffic emerges spontaneously based on the behavior of the individual drivers, most of whom, most of the time, are observing a property right called right-of-way. In truth, most of the order we all observe in all of nature, in society, and in the universe has emerged spontaneously as a result of energy flows through systems. This key insight was introduced by the brilliant and eccentric earthling Buckminster Fuller, famous as the creator of the geodesic dome and much else. We hope that we can convince more and more of you that this notion of spontaneous emergent order, how much it explains, and the empowerment it provides, is irresistibly attractive, especially when you compare it with the notion of intelligent design, a hangover from medieval times and a stagnant intellectual backwater if ever there was one. This idea that the mere existence of order does not prove that someone is giving orders is the great philosophical lesson from the science of evolution. We see that many, if not most of you, have the best of intentions and you wish to have them realized. We also see that your proposals in pursuit of realizing your intentions are based on the notion that you collectively are capable of intelligently designing an ideal world structure, bringing it into real existence, and then maintaining it. But intelligent design thinking is bad science, for reasons we will return to again and again in this series, so that the proposals many of you are making to improve the world based on intelligent design thinking do not have the ghost of a chance of leading you to the outcomes you say you want to achieve. We believe it would be a shame to see your entire generation, with all of these good intentions, pass without your having contributed something of positive value to the development of civilization on your planet. This is what motivates us to reach out to you, the desire to see you adopt a way of thinking that is rooted in good science. Until next time, when we will continue our discussion of emergent order and all that it implies. Please provide feedback if you're so inclined. You may contact me by sending an email to Senior Contributing Editor pregodenata @gmail.com. If you find the lessons from nature in these essays personally valuable, please recommend it to your friends and give it a like. Thanks to Trek Tribe for permitting the use of their song, Helium. Live long and prosper. Savor your experiences and treasure your memories, and respect nature's wisdom.